that note, bring in Tanvi Singh and Shivani into the conversation. Tanvi, I'll begin with you. आपसे समझना चाहूंगी Tanvi, I've been told that you're a NEET aspirant and you were affected by the score mismatch. क्या आप थोड़ा सा अपनी कुछ डिटेल्स हमें बता सकती हैं? आप री एग्जामिनेशन के लिए बैठे थे?
Yes, I did sit for the NEET examination.
You sat for the re-examination, but you had a score mismatch issue.
Yes, a big score mismatch issue. Actually, what happened was I gave the NEET exam. At first, the original NEET exam, I was scoring well above 600. Okay, and then I found out that it was leaked, and then everything went to hell, and something happened, and then NEET happened. Provisional answer key released. My score was coming around 300. At first, with the provisional answer key, it was coming around 292. Okay, I was fine with that. I did not actually prepare that well because of the stress and the pressure. And then the final answer key came and my score went up to 345. And then my result came and then it was suddenly 274. And I was so confused about what happened.
Okay, so Tanvi, how has the system then dealt with this issue? Have you sent your paper for rechecking? क्या हुआ उसमें?
Well, I don't see anything that will help me. At first, they had the question. I don't know what they call it when you can raise objections to question answers and such. I did not see any discrepancy in that, so I did not raise any objections. But then suddenly the result came at like 11 p.m. on 16 July. And I was so shocked about the result because I was expecting 345 or maybe somewhere around that. But it was 274 out of a sudden.
Okay, so Tanvi, where do you then stand today?
I definitely want the governmental bodies to be transparent about their processes. They need to be transparent about how they process these things and what is their marking criteria. Like, how do these discrepancies happen?
Okay, so working the checking criteria and better functioning as far as discrepancies in marks are concerned. Tanvi, I also want to understand from you, you are now in a position where you'll probably be taking the exam again next year, yes?
Probably, it depends.
Okay, so somewhere you still have that hope, right? You've not completely given up.
Yeah, I guess I can say that.
Okay, so Tanvi, of course, wishing you all the very best for next year and hopefully the circumstances will be better next year. But I just want to understand from you, Tanvi, one thing. If you could send a message to the government, you've just spoken about some of the issues, but if you could send a message to the people who are managing the system, what is it that you're expecting now from next year onwards? If not for yourself, then other NEET aspirants.
I will definitely say to work on your empathy about the students who put their entire life around one exam. Because if these kind of things happen, you don't know how many students bet their entire life on this one singular exam. Because of all this, so many students end up committing suicide, as we all know about the 20 students who did after NEET was announced. You don't know how much a single family goes through for that one single exam. So I will definitely tell them, like, increase the way you do your work, increase your empathy, and you know how much youth there is in this country. You need to do better for them because they are the future of this country. When you are gone, it will be us. So please make the system better for us at least, if not for yourself.
Okay, Tanvi, valid point there. I just want to understand from you because you're an interesting case. All the people that I've spoken to so far did clear the examination this year. You've probably worked as hard and you also had your dreams and hopes set on the NEET exam. But now that you are in this position where you're sort of confused whether you want to take it next year or not, what are you thinking about doing in life? And I'm asking you this from a very genuine perspective, Tanvi, because आपके जैसे कई बच्चे हैं, जैसा कि आपने कहा, वो अपनी पूरी लाइफ एक एग्जाम के अराउंड हम बना लेते हैं. बट कभी कभी लाइफ में हम जितना भी प्रिपेयर कर ले वो नहीं वर्कआउट होता। 20 लाख से ऊपर कंपटीशन था आपका और सीट्स बहुत कम थी, तो ज़रूरी तो ये ऑब्वियस बात है कि सब बच्चों का क्लियर नहीं होगा। तो आपका प्लान बी क्या है?
Well, I think that's one thing good thing about me, that I always have backups for something. But that's not the case for everyone else. They do not have backups. They only revolve around one exam. And for what I want to do in future, perhaps NEET will work out. Perhaps it will not. I do have my backup store for myself. That will work out just fine. I also gave the CUET exam, which worked well out for me. I got 694 out of 1000, and I have secured a DU seat with that. Uh, so yeah, one thing I would like to also say to the students who are betting their entire life on this exam is to always have a backup plan, because with all that is happening, you cannot trust the government. There is no transparency. There is no accountability. You cannot trust anything this government does regarding education or anything.
Okay, Tanvi, on that note, one last question to you. What would make you trust the government more?
Like I always said, transparency about how things work, and perhaps they should be answerable to the people, because that is, the backbone of democracy. That you should be answerable to the people and you should listen to them. If they have any questions, you should answer. If they have any problems with a new policy or anything that has happened, you should be able to answer. They should not sit there waiting for an answer, getting beaten up on the streets by the authorities. They should be able to receive an answer from you.
Absolutely. Tanvi, thank you so much. I'm with you on that. The government must always be answerable and accountable to the people. That's ultimately what you're there for. I thank on that note for all the students for joining us, those who did clear the exam, those who didn't, but a lot of their spirits remain unbroken, and that's the important part, and that's an important takeaway for me. On that note, a very short break. We come back on the other side with